All right, and now we will actually start generating 400 characters after we've selected a sentence randomly. So the first thing that we need to do is use the parameters of the GRU. So we need to load the model we've saved. Yeah. All right, so let us now write the codes that will generate these 400 characters. And this is the block I just pasted. So we define a function, generate text. And that function obviously takes in the model parameters. And that's exactly why we have loaded the model here. And the number of characters to be generated, in our case 400. So we'll start with a variable or a string variable called generate text that is empty here, right? And then what we do is we pick at random any index between 0 and 600,832. And once we've selected that index, we add maxlen, and maxlen is 60. So we add the next 60 indices, and that will give us a C text. All right. So what we do is then we add the C text to that string here that we called generated text. And then we have a loop that we will go through 400 times. And basically what this block of coding is doing here, it is taking the C text and it's converting it into an array. It's exactly the same process as we did here. This is a very similar process. So let's go back down here. So here we are. And then we're gonna do a predict with as the basis or as argument the sampled here. So the sampled is your encoded C text. Verbose 0 means we're not gonna worry about the logs that much. We don't want to know too much stuff because the higher verbose, the much time things will take. And how do we find the next index? Well, that's when we run this function. We're just gonna sample. See here are the argument of that functions. And of course the next character will be then associated with the next index. And our generated text here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the next character. So we started with empty, then we added a C text, and then we added the next character, right? So basically our generated text is our C text plus the next character, and we're gonna return that generated text. All right, and then I wrote the final line of code here is we will generate text using our model, and we do 400 characters. So here you see stem of morals, kinds, but here you can see that the text starts to be a little bit different. It doesn't make too much sense. So probably we've put in too much randomness and our temperature of 1 is too high. So why don't we run a model where the temperature has been reduced to 0.5. So let's take a look at that. All right, so here we have the version that I ran with a temperature of 0.5. So all the rest remains the same. Change this to 0.5. Let's go down. No changes here. 20 epochs again. So we ran it to win some time here. Here also you see we didn't really go to the end. The sample function here, the only thing we change is again the temperature. And then we're gonna generate the next 400 characters. So here no really change, no change really. So here we ran it for 400, and it looks a bit better. From what I can see, parts of the consoles, it generates some new word, but it looks a little bit better in terms of text. So that's it for the Nietzsche text character generation exercise.